Hey folks, this is Everyone Loves Pirates, and we are going to play some Banished. Now, I played Banished right when it first came out, and enjoyed the game quite a bit. We did a series of Pirateton, and it ended horribly, as you expect one thing to do. Actually, I'm not sure if we ever... I think the last episode I did didn't quite show the final end, but we were in a pretty good death spiral. And I said I'd come back to the series, I'd come back to Banished at least, when there was some more stuff to do. So I really like playing this game. I played it a lot kind of on my own without doing a series, just because I find it very relaxing to play, and it's something nice I could do to just kind of unwind, but it wouldn't make for good video. Now that, quite a while ago actually, modding has been put into the game. It's been over 6 months now, easy. I think it was November of last year when it kind of was released to everybody. Now there's a great reason to come back, and there's really the modding scene seems to have petered out quite a bit from what I'm able to tell. I didn't really follow it as it was going on. But the mod that we're going to play today is Colonial Charter. And it basically has most of kind of the biggest mods, the highest quality stuff, the most popular stuff in it as it is. So a lot of the popular mod makers or just, you know, whatever, they kind of got together and joined the project, you know, just so on and so forth, and added more stuff to it. And right now it's got all sorts of stuff in it. And a lot of the mods that you may just want to download piecemeal are also included in this as well. So this is enough. So we're going to play with just that to start. I have very little experience with any of the mods. I've played this maybe for an hour or two. Tried doing a couple videos and failed miserably for various different reasons. But I think I've gotten the hang of the game again, and maybe we can get a decent few episodes out of this. So let's try new Pirateton. And here's some of the things. Anything with CC next to it is something that's mod specific. I kind of like the idea of lake waters because there's a lot of cool new buildings that work around water that I wanted to try out. And there's plenty of water on this. And it kind of fits with the idea of maybe a banished group of pirates starting up their own town. Train size medium is more than enough. We're not going to fill up a whole map. Now, I do have a little complaint maybe about very mild. It seems as mild, if not less mild than mild. Maybe we try tropical or something. Because the first time I played with the mod, I ended up having everyone freeze to death in early August, just assuming that very mild meant that the winter wouldn't be that bad, and the house wasn't quite done yet. Let's see what tropical is. I haven't tried that yet. And then we are going to play with disasters off, just because I don't want to worry about some stupid tornado coming in and screwing everything up. And Curse of the Golden Llama. Now, I like a hard start in general. I've never actually done any of the other starts because it's hard to mess with food production. It's hard to get a good feel when it comes to crops and orchards and stuff, how quickly the food's going to come in and all that. And it's easy to think you have enough coming in, and then suddenly everyone starves to death. Now, it does say, what is the Golden Llama? This game starts according to regular hard settings, but includes the option to venture for a chance at treasure. We don't have to do that, but it will be an option, and pirates like treasure, don't they? So we will get started. Our job is to ensure the survival of our country's citizens. Well, we're kind of people without a country. And here we go. So I'm going to pause, zoom all the way out, and kind of just take a look around, see what we got map-wise. It's a little stream. There's our main river there coming up through that lake. Here's a lake without access to trading, but obviously you can still fish and stuff on it. So this comes up and wraps all the way around. That's interesting. And then goes over here. That's very interesting. Which way is this water flowing? Flowing in from this direction, which I believe is where the boat would come from. So we're near the start of where the boats would be. So lots of lakes, as the name perhaps suggests. All right, and we got this little sign here telling us kind of what the deal is with the llama, basically with the mod in general. So we can basically. The concept is there was an ancient civilization here before and got wiped out, and greedy explorers, not exploders, came and disappeared while seeking treasure, and now we need to survive, but would we be interested in looking for ancient wealth as well? And yeah, sure, probably. Why not? Got all sorts of different trees and stuff in this mod, which is pretty cool. Tons and tons and tons of rocks and iron. I'm actually going to use all that up very quickly anyways. And we're close enough to the mountains over here to get some mines going, which is good. This is not a bad start at all. Plenty of water. And yeah, let's get going. So, I kind of know my way around the menus, but not greatly. Let's get down here, and don't need to cut those little reeds down, but let's get those trees. Let's get a few rocks, apparently. And before we unpause, we'll think about, well, I'm going to look at a few things here, but I'm going to get a few things just kind of figured out organization-wise. So here are some of these things that can be built on the water. And we're going to look at the fishery. It's always a good idea. If we build it down here, that's not the right button, then we can probably get a little more water into its radius. The more water in the radius, the higher the amount of fish you catch. It's not bad. It's about half. Another option would be over here. Man, I cannot hit the right... That counts. That's interesting. It's basically not even in the water. Interesting. Oh, wrong button already. Okay, so kind of one of the things is these have these little poles that get you in the water. It's got the stone there as well, so kind of building into the bank a bit. I can see how that can kind of work. Yeah, it's not too bad. And the nice thing about maybe going there is, if we look at that radius, we can go here as well without overlapping. So we can get a couple going. It only matters that they overlap in the water area. That's not bad. Pause that one. So we do definitely want to do some fishing. We're going to be pretty heavy into what I would call water sport. No, water resources. There you go. What's the other one? We got the, let's look at food that we can gather. So we have the tidal pool. We can get oysters, mussels, crawfish, and seaweed. And kind of neat thing about this is, wow, I'm on a kind of weird grid, it feels like. Is we kind of put these in between the fishery areas. Obviously, if they're in the water, they're going to affect fishing a little bit, I believe. But these don't have a radius associated with them, so we don't really need to worry about overlapping these with anything in particular. Man, this is kind of an awkward deal there. Actually, it might make more sense just to put it over here, because that's kind of the right angle. Maybe. Maybe not. Right there, that works. Okay. I'll pause that as well. We're going to get more food from the fishery, I believe. And let's let it go. We'll go to speed 2. We need to get all this stuff up. And you have a lot of different kind of ways to look at your professions, since there are so many more now. I just like this one column deal. Put the map over there, put the event log down there, got all that stuff there. Okay, we need a place for them to store this stuff, so we will make a stockpile. There are some new stockpiles as well. I'm just going to do an everything stockpile for now, but we'll put, I don't know, we'll put one kind of there. That's in between those two for building purposes. And we'll be building stuff up here as well. Now, I don't know, obviously, what winter is like in the tropical climate. Hopefully it's not bad. In fact, I would almost assume they wouldn't need hardly any heating at all. But I made a similar assumption previously, so we'll see about that. This is the Golden Llama. They go inside there and kind of do something. What? I'm not sure. Had someone work it for, I don't know, a year, and then nothing happened. So, okay, what else food do we need? Because food is always the most important thing. And then tools. Don't let me forget tools. So we need to do our hunter-gatherer kind of thing. Always a good idea. In fact, where do I want it? Maybe something like this. Or we could go out this way. What way do I want to go? I think I might build up kind of this shore a bit. So we'll do something like that. Pause that for now. It's going to be hard to see exactly where we want to put things. In fact, I'm actually going to cancel that one. Let's do the Forester first. Forester. Okay, and we have different sorts of things here. These guys don't have anything really to do right now except for build, and I don't have any builders. Well, okay, so we have just palm trees, and we have all the new trees. So this is with the forest plant, or just old school stuff. Now, I don't know if it's really going to take the map into account. I guess these are all the new trees. Part of me kind of likes the idea of just palm trees. I don't know if they're any better or worse. I assume they're exactly the same. You get all the same density and stuff, but I don't know. Look here where there's just palm trees. They don't seem very dense, but where you get all the trees, it is pretty dense. And then we also have hardwood forester, which I had to look up, obviously, and it's used for making upscale furniture, which I believe is used for upgrading some of the houses. So a lot of the things here have different levels of production chains. The houses can be upgraded, and so can certain types of industry as well. Let's do a new trees one. Why not? So let's see. I'm gonna put that probably do side by side. Put it there, and then we'll get our gatherer. Probably there. You know, let's just get the radius out. I think these have slightly different radii, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Yeah, the gatherer's a lot more than the planter. But that'll be more or less all right. Why not? And good. So they'll start working on that. We do probably want the gatherer next because they need good stuff to eat so they stay healthy. Before I unpause for good, let's just get some of these trees and maybe I don't want to do too much at once. Maybe those trees. And we'll do another little stockpile. We'll do another stockpile. I don't know, over here. No, that's pretty close to the other one. Let's do a stockpile over here. Okay, go ahead, guys. And speed-wise, I'm leaving it 2 for a second just as we start planning some stuff out. Now, let me know in the comments kind of what you would like to see. Maybe what's the purpose of this colony. Once again, I'm going to play around with a lot of this stuff because I've never done it before. That's going to be my main deal. But, you know, how long do we go? So on and so forth. That will be up to me. But I'll take your input as well. We're going to need more resources. We're going to need... Might as well take the iron, too. And what we're going to really want to do is we're going to want to clear out all these rocks, all this iron, because we need more room for trees. So the gatherer gathers sorts of roots and vegetables and stuff that only grow under trees. Doesn't matter what kind of trees, doesn't matter how well grown they are. As long as there's trees in some form, they will spawn. So that's why you want to do that. Get rid of these rocks. The forester will plant all sorts of stuff in there, and we'll be good. However, the medicine guy, the herbalist, herbs only spawn under mature trees. So if you're going to be cutting a lot in this area because you have the forester and you kind of clear cut and let them replant, you kind of do spurts of wood, which I kind of tend to do. It's a little micromanagey, but you're not going to get a whole lot of herbs spawning because you're not really allowing a lot of these trees to get to maturity. Do you guys really have nothing to do? No, you got all this stuff to cut down. What are you... You're wandering up here to get rid of all that. You know what? I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm so okay with that. Just pause real quick and put in another anything stockpile up here for building purposes. So that's the forester, I believe. So let's put a anything stockpile next to him. I think that's right. Yeah, okay. This is actually way big enough. 4x4 again is probably fine. Okay. Let's bump up the priority on that a bit. So they have a place to store everything they're cutting, and they don't bring it all back over here. And our fishery is almost complete. Very cool. All that needs a little iron. So let's get a little bit more iron that's nearby, and kind of just bump up the priority of that as well. Okay, so we probably do want to do some housing to start with. One of the things I like to do, if you've seen my previous one, I think it still holds true. Now, I haven't played this game in a year, so maybe not, but it seemed to always work pretty well if you started with a boarding house, especially to get through that first winter, because that way everyone shares everything. It's your socialist, communist ideal kind of thing, right? Everyone shares everything the community makes. People change jobs at will, no matter what. Basically, kind of depends on how close they live to things. But when they have their own houses, they do hoard. They'll grab, you know, all the materials they can and shove it in their house, and no one else can use it. Do the boarding house, and doesn't matter. You know, you want to put everything in the boarding house. Everyone uses it equally. Kind of works out pretty darn well. I feel like I would put a big boarding house right here. So let's just do it. I'll leave it active for a second. It's the last thing I place, so it should be the last thing they start working on. All right. Good. They've cleared this area, which is great. I would prefer you guys finish this, though. And then the gatherer, which should be next, I believe, in order. Okay, let's bump up speed, because this is YouTube, and it's not fun to watch ants crawl around and do nothing. Problem is, when you play fast, at least when I do, I tend to miss a whole lot of stuff. So hopefully we won't get in too much trouble here. Yeah, they're starting to bring some stuff there. Does that mean they've already finished bringing everything up here? That's the forester. That's the gatherer's hut. Oops, I got him confused. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, it's getting a little ugly here, isn't it? We can get rid of the fisheries. I mean, honestly, I don't even want the forester right now. I don't want it taking all the materials. I don't need him until we clear out all these rocks and stuff. I'll just use the laborers to cut down trees, because they're going to be a lot faster at it. Okay, there we go. Let's get a fisher in. Actually, let's get two in. Get some protein going. It's kind of like my Dwarf Fortress start, right? You always want just to have some water, have a river, get a fisher guy out there, and you're set for food. You don't have to worry about it pretty much ever again until he fishes the river dry, which I've done on many occasions. Still doesn't seem right, but by that point in the game, you can find other sources of food. Okay, what else do we want? We want a hunter's lodge. Very, very much so. And these don't actually need to be in the forest, to be honest. They just need to be away from civilization. And we can talk a little bit about the deer. I don't know if it's changed any. And there should be new animals in this as well, I believe, though I could be mistaken there. But just a quick thing, I have a video to prove it, in the past at least. Didn't matter if the deer were nearby. Like, many times my hunters would just go out into the middle of nowhere and suddenly meat and hide would appear on the ground. I have video evidence of this. There's no deer within eyesight. So I'm not really sure if these deer running around the map matter at all. But apparently the chance of them finding something is going to be less the closer it is to civilization. So let's maybe just do something like... Okay, that's the gatherer's hut, right? So let's do... Let's do that. Oh, yeah, we definitely want someone working that, though. Okay. In fact, I'm going to have two people work that. How many laborers we got left? Two. Two builders. Okay. Right. So now you guys need to work on this. We are going to need more stone. We're going to need more logs. We're working on logs. Let's get stone going. It's probably enough. It is late summer. Temperature's still really high, though. I say we risk it. Okay, we got more than enough logs to get this finished. We got 715 food. Not great, but we don't probably have a whole lot of fishing happening yet. And we're getting some roots and mushrooms and ginger and stuff. Is that ginger? Yep, ginger. I love ginger. Ginger is amazing. I just eat pickled ginger raw by the bucketful. I'm not really even exaggerating. I have a, like, I think 32-ounce jar that I eat it out of. And I finished a jar in a day. Like 2 sittings, I think it was. Get the stone! Prioritize my stone, people. Early autumn, it's still 88 degrees. We may not have to worry about firewood at all. Which, to be honest, I think would be kind of cool. I have pretty much my entire life lived in very warm climates. The exception is the northeast of the U.S., which I hated. You go from living, you know, in Florida, California, in the desert, and then you go up to the northeast, and yeah, it was rough for me. Like, snow on the ground 6 months out of the year. Miserable cold, had to walk, you know, from the barn, not barn, it's got a little kind of storage barn where the wood was to the house, and, you know, bring the wood in for fires at night, and salt the walkway so people don't slip and kill themselves or sue you, and then shovel the driveway and the walkway, and yeah, not a lot of fun for a junior high kid. Not to mention you couldn't see your friends, tiny little town, roads were down to 1 lane, big mountain, you know, big mountain roads, small roads, but very steep grades, and yeah, it's hard to get anyone to actually get out on the roads unless they absolutely have to. Come on, get it done. Get her done. Okay. Just pause it for a second. Let's start thinking about what resources we need to work on here. They're probably going to be building that soon, which is great. I want to get that going. Though, really, it's late autumn and it's still 74. We don't have to worry about coats and stuff. I mean, that's enough to get us through the first year. Let's actually look at the thing that I always forget to do is, where's it go? Yeah, come on, think, man. I want to make tools, blacksmith, perfect. Everything's in different places. Honestly, the blacksmith would be kind of good out there for now because that's where all the iron is, but they can trek it over. Eventually, it's going to have to be over here, or we're going to need to trade for everything. And we will definitely be doing some trading. That's how we're going to find a lot of the new stuff as well. So for now, let's just put the blacksmith... maybe there? I know, this is not going to be a master plan town by any means. At least it's going to be close to where they live. Nobody has homes. Too bad. I did turn off weather effects. And really they don't hurt too much, but the snow was pretty bad. But we don't really have snow here, possibly. I'm going to turn it back on real quick. Why not? So, weather effects. Okay. So it should be raining right now. Oh, it just went sunny. But the thought process is it's easier to see on YouTube too when you don't have all the weather effects going on. You don't have to worry about YouTube compression and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to need... Yeah, see? I mean, this has got to be hard to watch. I can zoom in and it gets a little clearer. Let me know what you think. Okay, now what we want to do is pretty much start clearing out anything within this radius. That'll give us more places for trees, and then we'll put a forester going. A lot of people became older, didn't they? We got 6 laborers now. How are we doing here? 404 is not bad. What else do we even have? We have the gatherers. I might put more gatherers out there. We tend to go through this stuff fairly quick, typically. They gotta get all the way out there. We have builders not really doing anything now. Actually, we'll do 2 hunters, and I'm gonna take that back down to 2 gatherers. And I'm going to put a road out there. So one of the things that is new in this mod, apparently, is... or one of the things that's added as well in this mod that's in other mods is faster road traveling. Because really before, the dirt road and just no road was pretty much the same speed. It seemed imperceptible, the difference. However, you know, now it seems quicker. And I haven't tested out stone roads yet, but I'm sure they're much quicker. What do I want? Well, we have a lot of protein sources still, but I think I'm going to... I don't know. Do we want another one? You can never have too much food, and we are pretty low on food. So they can start making the tidal pool as well. I'm assuming this makes seaweed. I'm assuming seaweed acts like some of this stuff. It helps keep you healthy. It's a varied diet. But yeah, we're doing all right. We're getting close to 30 minutes, which is going to be the max, I hope, for these episodes. One of the reasons why I quit a previous playthrough I was doing of this is because I accidentally did an episode over an hour. Definitely lose time in Banished. And lose all sense of what time it is. And that's a good... I don't know, it's a good measuring stick, I think, of a good game. You just kind of lose yourself in it. Are we gonna need trees? We do need trees. Okay, real quick, let's get some more trees set for... Well, this is gonna get replanted, so I'm just gonna pick the close ones for now. Kind of just do that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end this episode here. Thanks for watching. Really, first episode, so it's super uber important for mine Deutsch fans. Super important that you let me know what you think. No reason for me to waste my time on this if no one wants to watch it, or waste your time. I could be making stuff that you'd rather watch, and I can play this on my own time at a speed that I prefer. So let me know what you think. If you don't want to leave an actual comment, if it takes too much time and effort to type something out, if you're watching on a phone or TV or something where that makes it more difficult, you know, just hit that like button. And if you don't want to watch these, you don't want to see more of these videos, hit the dislike button. I don't care. It won't hurt my feelings. It's just that feedback helps a lot, especially as I'm trying to get back into things and don't have a whole lot of time to record. And I'm going to be recording these mostly in spurts too, so it's going to be a little while before I get your feedback too. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, folks, as always, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye.